Zane is awesome, but his level 26 action skill, double barrel, it should be available much earlier in his double agent skill tree. It should be available like here. The most it should be available here, right? It should be, because once you get the grenade, you can throw a copy of a grenade, which is fine. That is awesome. You only need 5 points, 6 points to get 5 points to get to you, and then the 6th point can go in there. Before the 10th point, you should be able to use your own gun. You should be able to use a copy of your gun, right? But because while you're playing, if you're like me, you put points in the undercover skill tree to get benefits to maximum capacity, shield capacity, and stuff like that. You probably only get to hear double barrel until like end game. So the most of your playthrough, you're not really getting the benefit of his best skill, which is to use, for the Digi-Clone, to use a copy of your gun. How awesome would it have been if, early on in the game, like you're level 5, level 8 or whatever, and you find a Maliwan or a TDR that has elemental damage, and you give your agent, your ability, the Digi-Clone, that gun to use. Meaning, when you spawn him, that gun is in your hand, and he can spawn with your gun, and he can use that gun. When you don't have this ability available, he spawns with the generic gun, and it's just so disappointing that they decided to put that ability, double barrel, so late at the last ability. The last ability should be boom enhance. That should be the last ability, where he gets 20% more gun damage per grenade, all these abilities. That should be like at the end, he's super powerful. But in the early game, man, he should be able to use your gun. You should spawn with your gun and use your gun early in the game, so you get all the time fighting COV and all those people. Your Digi-Clone should have your gun, and it's such a wonderful ability that they put it at the last part right here, and it would have made playing Zane so much more fun and awesome if you were able to use this ability much earlier. Because while you're running around early in the game, you're trying to stay alive, you probably put more points trying to get to brain freeze, where critical hits slow the enemy and also stack to freeze them, right? So I don't know. Whoever decided this is a mistake, man. They should have made this double barrel available earlier, and this is like at least 50% of the fun playing this character. Be able to spawn your Digi-Clone with a copy of your gun, right? So because when he spawns like normally like this, right, he doesn't have a copy of your gun, then it's a problem. You see, he just spawns like a regular generic, and he doesn't have these abilities. Because right now he has the grenade ability, so he can do that, but he doesn't have the ability to spawn my gun. And I only found this out after I finished the first playthrough, and I went and tested it here in Pandora, and I realized that he could spawn with my gun, and I'm like, man, what a wasted opportunity. I missed an opportunity because I did not choose this skill tree, double the agent, from my first playthrough. So I did not realize that opportunity was there. So there's a 67% chance I would miss this because there are 2 other skill trees, right? So I could go ahead and choose, try to get the Sentinel going, which is a waste. The Sentinel is good for shooting, baby skags, right? But other than that, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It gets better when you start putting points in it and start getting the cryo damage and getting rockets and stuff like that, right? It gets better, but it's still not an end game skill to use. It's not an end game action skill. It's a waste of time. Barrier, I know people are using it, but I don't like it. It looks weird in game. It looks lame. It's when I run around with a shield like that. It just looks lame. I don't like it. So I'd rather go Digi-Clone, right? So I know all the benefits that the barrier has, but what I did was I spec in the barrier undercover skill tree, but I did not use the barrier action skill. I used the Digi-Clone and the Sentinel just because it was there, so I spawned it, right? Just to test it out, and I didn't put any points in it while I was playing. I put all my points in green, and then I went to double agent. By the time we killed the boss, finished the first playthrough of the campaign, I did not realize that this wonderful skill was available, double barrel. I didn't realize. And then now I'm like, man, now that I realize, it still should not be down here. It should be up higher. It should be up higher. It should be available before level 10. Right? It should be available along with the grenade before level 10. Because that makes this character fun. And you keep that away until level 26. That's just weird. Like, why? So all the time you're running through doing quests and everything, and you spawn your Digi-Clone. You spawn your Digi-Clone, he doesn't have your gun. It's just weird. I don't know why they decided to do that. So anyway, so the Zane, I don't know about, fighting bosses and doing, farming and doing those missions where, you gotta fight off a horde of people. I don't know about how effective he is there, but playing the campaign, Digi-Clone with your gun, if you had your gun early, it would have been so much more fun. So much more fun because you can get to give him a weapon that has elemental damage, and you can spawn with it and use it. I don't know how difficult it is to rework that, but they should fix it. They should rework it and put that ability up higher so you can pick it. Right? This skill down here, this passive ability, double barrel, should be right here where the grenade ability is, and the grenade ability should be right here where the magazine size ability is, and the magazine size ability should be right here. Right here. This ability to use to spawn the Digi-Clone with your gun.
Get that attractive bastard right there!
It's just such a fun ability, and it's like it contributes like 75% to me, in my opinion, 75% to the fun of playing this character, because he would have spawned with my COV weapon right here instead of his generic Digi-weapon. So I don't know who decided that it's silly. They should have moved this up to here. And this thing right here, the boom enhance, is weird on here anyway. It should have been the last one, right? This boom enhance should have been the last ability, and then double barrel should be right here. Level 6 you can get it, and the grenade should be, you can get it from day 1. He can throw your grenade. That should be an ability. Boom, you can select it. He can throw your grenade. You get to pick a grenade when the game starts, and then once you level up, level 2, your Digi-Clone can throw your grenade, right? That's what should have happened. And then Zane would have been so much more fun to play if they did it that way. But they left the best ability of this character all the way to the end of a skill tree, that if you don't put points in that skill tree, the more points you put in other skill trees, the longer you're gonna take to get to it. And for me, I got to this at level after I already killed the boss. After I finished the campaign, then I respec my points and went to Pandora to test it out and realized, oh, that's there all this time. So it's a mistake to put that down there. It should be up here, and grenade should be number 1, so you can choose it, and then magazine size should be down here. All right.